Some Indians that come to the US just think they're better. They think they're better than other minorities, and then they act outraged when they're treated like them. We've all heard a family member or someone say that we're successful because we value education. We're not like those other communities that like to complain. What if I told you that's casteism, just rebranded as the model minority myth?
I'm happy that Indians are now seeing what we've been telling them for so long. You are not part of the white supremacist party. You can be conservative, you can have money, you can be successful. They will let you get to a certain level. But the second Vivek Ramaswamy said, hey, I think I should be president, all of a sudden, all we see is unfettered racism towards Indian people.
So unlike most girls, I'm actually this gym and sports freak, and my mom makes this Indian food and I just don't eat it because it's so unhealthy. No, look at my nose. It's actually prettier and smaller than almost everyone I know, and I'm Indian. Black colored and brown colored eyes are just so normal. My eyes are hazel green from that angle of the sun. It's just so exotic.
I'm going to need every single immigrant group to stop saying we are the good ones. That other group of people over there are the bad immigrants. I've been hearing some Asian immigrants saying this about Somalis. That's what inspired me to make this video. But pretty much all immigrant groups have members that are trying to be the pick-me's and pointing the finger at everybody else. This is never going to work. Any racism and xenophobia that you perpetuate against somebody else is eventually going to be used against you.
You know what's starting to make me really mad that I've been noticing is when a non-white person is in a room full of white people or hanging around white people and they purposely are racist to their own race to be funny to the white people that they're around. And I know I'm white, so I feel I've been in this situation where someone that's not white, just anyone that's not white does that, and it's low-key so embarrassing. First of all, it's just embarrassing because why are you literally putting down your entire race of people just to make a couple white people laugh? I get it if you're making jokes about your race with other people that are your race because they can relate to it and they also they understand it because they're the same race as you. It's more normal, I feel like.
There is a specific kind of betrayal. It's not the enemy who insults your home. It's the guest who invites the enemy in, points to your most sacred things, and says, "Look how silly this is," hoping for a seat at the other table.
I'm actually so surprised how many fellow South Asian/Indians jumped in on the trend to mock that lady. Now again, I am not defending that lady who stole the Target. What she did was bad and I am not defending it. However, fellow South Asians are jumping on the bandwagon of mocking her accent, even though their parents sound like that. We're immigrants. Our parents have the Indian accents. And yet they're blatantly mocking that woman's accent. And the thing is, South Asians, I find our community pathetic in the sense that we are so quick to make fun of our own in order to appease for white validation. However, when one of us is in trouble, we don't step up. It's pathetic, really. For example, with all this Indian racism going on, I barely see any South Asians speaking up. I do see some. However, South Asians are much more likely to tackle each other. We will hurt each other. It's like a male-centered woman who will hurt other women for male validation. Indians are male-centered women, except we're white-centered. We're a white-centered race. We're the pick-me race. If you get what I'm saying. And it's ridiculous. Again, I'm not defending the Target lady, but instead of acknowledging that what she did was wrong, people are choosing to focus on her accent, the way she speaks. And that's not holding someone accountable. That is just being plain racist. And the fact that my fellow people are joining the bandwagon just so they can get a bit of laughs and hee-hee-ha-has from their white friends, it's pathetic. And if we keep begging for validation, and if we don't start standing up for our own people, we're gonna go nowhere.
Some Indians that come to the US just think they're better. They think they're better than other minorities, and then they act outraged when they're treated like them. We've all heard a family member or someone say that we're successful because we value education. We're not like those other communities that like to complain. What if I told you that's casteism, just rebranded as the model minority myth? Because that sentiment is exactly how they minimize people of lower caste. That's why America's power structure is perfect for Indians, because it reinforces what they already believe. You see, a lot of these Indians that immigrate to the US, they come from upper castes. They come from privilege. And it takes a lot of that to immigrate to the US because that's not an easy process. They were never oppressed in India. In fact, they were more than likely the oppressors. And a side effect of this is that they bring their casteist and elitist bullshit here. And bro, I see it in my own Telugu communities. They try to maintain caste dynamics here. It's weird, bro. I promise you, the people that call you Pajit or stinky or tell you to shower, they don't give a flying what caste you're from. So just leave that back at home or just don't come here at all. You want to know why some people are so surprised by this Indian hate? It's because they thought they were above it. They thought because they were keeping their head down and getting money that it absolved them from the consequences of being a minority in the United States. Well, newsflash, it doesn't. We're useful until we aren't anymore. And then comes the anti-immigrant sentiment, which is a whole nother story. We can talk about that next time.
To understand the pick-me, you must first understand the ticket they were handed. The model minority myth. For many Indian immigrants, especially those arriving post 1965 with educational capital, success was not just a goal. It was a mandatory performance to justify their presence in a historically black and white America. The narrative was clear. Be exemplary. Excel in STEM. Be financially self-sufficient. Be politically quiet. And above all, distance yourself from the problem minorities. This created a precarious psychology of conditional acceptance. I recall the unspoken rules in my own upbringing. Don't make trouble. Let our success speak for itself. We are not like them. This mindset didn't just seek safety. It sought a specific rank within America's racial hierarchy, a rank just below whiteness, but ostensibly above blackness. The pick-me behavior is born from this, a belief that your acceptance is not guaranteed, but earned through continual proof that you are the good, assimilable, and non-threatening minority. You are not just trying to fit in, you are trying to trade up, and the currency is often your own culture and your solidarity with other people of color.
I'm going to need every single immigrant group to stop saying we're the good ones, that other group of people over there are the bad immigrants. I've been hearing some Asian immigrants saying this about Somalis. That's what inspired me to make this video. But pretty much all immigrant groups have members that are like trying to be the pick-me's and pointing the finger at everybody else. This is never going to work. Any racism and xenophobia that you perpetuate against somebody else is eventually going to be used against you because you're an immigrant of color. You are never going to be accepted into the core of white America. And also every immigrant ethnicity is going to have some members that commit crimes and a lot of members who work really hard and contribute a lot to this country. There are going to be good and bad people in every single immigrant group, just like any other ethnicity, just like white people. So you going off and saying my group of immigrants is all good, someone's going to prove you wrong really quick and you don't want to dig that hole for yourself. We need to not excuse bad treatment of anybody. We're all immigrants, we're all in the same boat. Some of us have more privilege than others and we should be using it to protect each other. I think basically every single immigrant community of color has experienced the raids, the violence, the fear. ICE has hit all of us. The president has engaged in hate speech against all of us. I'm Chinese, I know. Seriously, wrap it up. We have better things to do.
One of the things that I have thoroughly been enjoying is the Asian community holding their pick-me's accountable. If you haven't been paying attention, there was an Asian creator here on this app that said that she gets uncomfortable when she sees white people in H Mart. That video sparked so much discussion across the internet, and they have been going at it, guys. The conversation has ranged from how white people commodify their spaces for profit, how they don't respect their culture, etc., etc. I've just been sitting on the sidelines watching because I think this conversation is one that needs to be had. If you've been following this page for a while, then you probably saw the video where we talked about it a little bit when the Asian community helped overturn affirmative action. When I first made that video, that's when I noticed the people that were being used as shields for white people in that discussion, because a bunch of white people were tagging people like Sujia in order to be the mouthpiece against what I was saying. This conversation the Asian community is having is super important because Uncle Tom's hurt everyone and they're a part of every single community. That's how we get things like that ICE photo where they're unmasked and the majority of them are Latino. I hope this discussion continues because white supremacy hurts every single one of us.
This is where the performance turns into public ritual, the racial joke at your own community's expense. The pick-me doesn't just avoid their culture. They proactively offer it up for mockery to the dominant group. The smelly lunchbox joke, the caricature of the thick-accented uncle, these become social coins. They say, "See, I'm so secure. I can laugh at myself. I'm not one of those Indians." It's a transaction, the humiliation of your own identity in exchange for a moment of inclusion, a laugh from the white peers whose approval is the ultimate metric of belonging. I've been in those rooms where a cousin or acquaintance would turn their own parents' accents into a punchline for a white audience. The laughter that followed wasn't communal. It was a reward for a service rendered. The service of making the exotic, and sometimes intimidating, other seem harmless and laughable. This mockery is also a powerful tool for differentiation. By laughing at the fresh-off-the-boat Indian, the assimilated Indian American is saying, "I am not that. I am like you." It's a desperate, often painful, drawing of a boundary within the community to secure a better position outside of it.
The little Manchurian candidate, J.D. Vance, wants to be president more than anything else.
Yeah.
I always wonder what's going on in the mind of his wife. Like, are you
Agreed.
okay? Please blink 4 times.
Yes.
We'll come over here. We'll save you.
Nope. Nope. Saki, so help me God. No. Just because this woman is aging like the raw milk that MAGA will not stop chugging for some reason, doesn't mean she actually regrets anything that's going on. Okay? Usha is a very, very smart woman and had a very, very successful legal career, during which she clerked for Roberts and Kavanaugh, who are separately doing their part to destroy this country from the inside. I cannot overstate the likelihood that she and Peter Thiel were the ones who charted out the career of this Appalachian cornhusk doll. She picked his religion, but she didn't convert. Does that sound like a woman with no control? Yes, he is in fact the Manchurian candidate, but that makes her Meryl Streep. She is not a hostage. This is not Get Out. If anything, she is the brown Catherine Keener here. Do not trust her. Do not waste your energy trying to rescue someone like this. She is dangerous. They are dangerous. These people are racist with a capital R. They believed that they fit into the Republican Party because even though white America would still never fully accept them, there was this air of civility. But masks are completely off in 2025. And they are learning for the first time that they do not make the cut. They thought their money and their power would insulate them from white Christian nationalist racism, but they are learning it does not. So just because they may look a little sad while photographed or push back even marginally on the racism that they are experiencing, it does not mean that Usha and her race traitor ilk aren't thoroughly enjoying stripping us of our food, our healthcare, our privacy, our freedoms, all in pursuit of proximity to this type of white power. I know you guys think cinema and Fetterman and Nazi tits are bad, but these people are also very, very dangerous. And just because they look like third-string Batman villains, do not underestimate them, okay? Okay.
You know what's starting to like make me really mad that I've been noticing is like when like a non-white person is in a room full of like white people or like hanging around white people and they purposely are racist to their own race to like be funny to the white people like that they're around. And like I know I'm white, so I feel like I've been in this situation where like someone that's not white, like just anyone that's not white does that, and it's like it's low-key so embarrassing. Like first of all, it's just embarrassing because why are you literally putting down your entire race of people just to make a couple white people laugh? I get it if you're like making jokes about your race with other people that are your race because they can relate to it and they also like they understand it because they're the same race as you. Like it's like more normal, I feel like. But I don't know why you're sitting there like literally putting down your own race, making racist jokes or like remarks towards a bunch of people who don't really like get it because they're not that race. And then also like they're just enforcing the fact that they can make fun of you. Like I get it's fine to like make jokes and stuff, but like don't do it in a room full of people that like already would do it to you and then they add on to it and it's just like you're just okay with that? Like what? It's like if I went to a room full of boys and just started making like sexist comments like about myself or whatever, and then just like they're laughing and I'm just like, oh haha, like so funny, like I need to go back to the kitchen. Like it's giving pick me. It's giving pick me on like an insane level.
This logic culminates in the belief in a hierarchy of minorities, the conviction that some marginalized groups are simply better than others. This is the pick-me's most damaging contribution. Having bought into the model minority myth, they internalize the racist logic that created it. That success is purely a matter of individual culture and work ethic, ignoring history, systemic barriers, and the very different reasons groups came to America. This leads to a contempt for other minorities, particularly Black Americans, who are framed as complaining or not working hard enough. The pick-me uses this contempt as the final proof of their allegiance to the white conservative worldview. They become vocal critics of affirmative action, social justice movements, and any talk of systemic racism, positioning themselves as the logical, race-blind alternative. I've heard this rhetoric. We face discrimination too, but we pulled ourselves up. Why can't they? It's a profound misreading of history that serves a social function. It is the ultimate gatekeeping. By policing other minorities and upholding the myth of a meritocratic ladder, the pick-me believes they are safeguarding their own hard-won, precarious spot on the rung just below the top. They don't see they are defending the very system that built the ladder and can kick them off it at any time.
I'm happy that Indians are now seeing what we've been telling them for so long. You are not part of the white supremacist party. You can be conservative, you can have money, you can be successful. They will let you get to a certain level. But the second Vivek Ramaswamy said, hey, I think I should be president, all of a sudden, all we see is unfettered racism towards Indian people. The whole factory ethics lady is probably responding to more posts about Indians and how they smell than any other group. And it's literally because Indians tried to adopt conservative politics. Indians are now facing more racism because they tried to go to the racist party and do what they do. And those racist people said, oh my God, I'm going to be racist to you now.
I don't know if your comment comes from a place of heavy ignorance or if you're just being ostentatious and trying to front a pretty crude mindset, but I'm more than happy to break it down for you. Why is your gut reaction when white women are held accountable to claim jealousy? Is it because you as a white woman think you have something that I should be jealous of? Pretty nasty bias. Maybe you should sit with that for a minute. Or do you just not understand that the lingering remnants of colonial trauma and centuries of Western supremacy cause people to put a premium on whiteness, which allows white creators to propel themselves, to boost their content using our cultures, and to take up POC spaces? Or are you just using jealousy as a way to silence me and prevent me from speaking about the exploitation of my culture because playing white victim comes easy to you? Pretty tacky, but that's the one I'm leaning towards. You must be allergic to accountability. As for jealousy, when it comes to the culture that my ancestors built for me, you can't outdo the doer, Becky. And I've never been one to aim for mediocrity.
So unlike most girls, I'm actually this gym and sports freak, and my mom makes this Indian food and I just don't eat it because it's so unhealthy. No, look at my nose. It's actually prettier and smaller than almost everyone I know, and I'm Indian. Black colored and brown colored eyes are just so normal, my eyes are hazel green from that angle of the sun. It's just so exotic, and guys love my eyes. Oh, don't worry, I'm such a guy. I completely get you. Even I agree, Indian women are yeah, so I get why you think other people are better. No, she's really pretty. For an Indian girl, she's really pretty.
The pick-me Patel is not a villain, but a symptom of a sickness. The sickness of a conditional belonging that asks you to betray your own to survive. So, here's the challenge. Stop trading your inheritance for a rental. The culture you mock, the community you distance from, the other minorities you look down upon, they are not obstacles to your acceptance. They are your only source of real, unshakable power. Solidarity is not a weakness. It is the only force that can rebuild a broken system into one that doesn't require you to scuff your own sacred designs to prove you deserve a floor to draw them on. Build with your people. Protect your people. And know that a seat earned by throwing others under the bus is a seat that will always be taken away.